All right, after that Monday night game, I think we need to talk about the Jaguars a little bit. Just as a quick autopsy on this game, part of the reason why I didn't drop the Chiefs in the power rankings is I think when you look at the underlying metrics, the Jaguars are somewhat lucky to have come out on top in this one. I think when you look at Vegas and how they set game lines, a lot of the numbers they care about are total number of plays run and yards per play, both of which the Chiefs kind of ran all over Jacksonville with in this matchup. Obviously, when you get a 100-yard pick six and your opponent commits 13 penalties for over 100 yards, it can swing a game, and that's what happened to Kansas City. And ultimately, I don't think the Chiefs, with an Andy Reid coaching staff, are going to be committing 13 penalties every single week, so I think they will end up being just fine. However, the turnovers thing is a big thing that has helped Jacksonville to this point. It's launched them so far defensively. They haven't been the best defense, but they're forcing a lot of turnovers, getting points off of it, and that's huge. It's a way they've been able to stop teams like Kansas City from lighting up the scoreboard. However, do keep in mind with a +8 turnover margin already through 5 weeks, 5 games that they've played, something could come back down to earth in terms of those numbers. We'll see they're a little bit variable. I do think when we talk about turnovers specifically, it can be variable season to season more so than within a season. So maybe Jacksonville just is really good at taking the ball away, but that's still something we have to find out. And I think more importantly, when you talk about this team, what's going well is their offense under Liam Cohen. This offensive roster is full of depth. There aren't like fantastic players. My dog is barking, but there are good players that can develop into great players like Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter up at the top there. Their offensive line has a starting caliber interior for the first time in years. Walker Little and Anton Harrison have finally had a couple years to develop. And that O-line, it's not really amazing, but it's good at run blocking and it's better than it's been in years. And between Hunter Long, Bretton Strange, and Johnny Munton, you have a bunch of veteran tight ends there. You have multiple running backs you feel good about in Etienne and Bashal Tootin and LaQuint Allen, who's not even on the screen here. But they traded away Tank Bigsby because they didn't really need him. And Yami Brown's played well at times, although he had a drop on Monday night. And then you got Tim Patrick, who's a veteran receiver. You got Parker Washington, who's been a good punt returner, can fill in at times. There's a lot of depth here. There's guys who can step in and make plays if you need it. Ultimately, that's why I think this offense is going to go as far as Trevor Lawrence takes them. And I think in the first 2 weeks, in some ways, they overcame some of his deficiencies. He turned the ball over. He didn't really push the ball down the field. He was efficient on early downs in terms of putting them in situations to run the ball well, which they've done. And that's how the offense moved the ball. However, last night, he protected the ball better, used his legs more often, which is something that'll be interesting because he needs to stay healthy, something that he's had trouble with at times in his career, and finally hit a deep ball to Travis Hunter, which has been missing from the offense, especially with Brian Thomas, and they will need going forwards. There is a path to success here, and it runs through their quarterback play and how consistent it is.